Welcome to another episode of Show Up. And guess who showed up? We have the doctor in the house, Dr. Drax from the American Disc Jockey Association. Welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you for being here.
It's great to be here, Kyle.
I appreciate it. So, we're talking a little bit about showing up and educating yourself and building relationships and building networks. So, do you remember your first foyer into networking?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
I went in with a ton of business cards and I asked everybody I met for work.
Yeah?
Told them, here's my card. I'm a great DJ. Hire me. Refer me. And I learned.
And you had business just like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Then I learned that's not really networking. It's something I've now chose to call pest working.
Good term.
You know, and
heard
so
that yet.
I learned quickly that networking is about what you give, not what you take.
Okay.
Networking is about developing relationships by finding other talented professionals, knowing intimately what they do, so that when you have somebody asking you questions, I now become the subject matter expert because, hey, I got that. I know somebody that's great at that. Oh, you need a dance floor? I know the guy that has that.
Right.
That actually elevated my business because I built a network of contacts. So anybody that comes to me, I became the answer man.
Nice.
They call me, boom, I've got that. I got that. I can refer them.
I can direct you.
Yeah.
I can help you.
And when you do that for others, now they're going backward and going, hey, you need a great corporate DJ? Drax is your guy.
Nice.
So it works out well.
Very cool. So when you go to these events, what would you say is probably the most surprising relationship that you've built out of going to these? You just going, okay, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to see what I can do and help people out. And then you found a relationship that you never expected.
Well, I think there's actually two. One was other DJs.
Okay.
Breaking down because so many event professionals view everything so competitively, like I can't share with this guy because he's doing what I do and anything I share with him will harm me. And that's really not the case.
Right.
What I found is as I shared with other colleagues or competitors, they actually transitioned from competitors to colleagues, and we realized that I couldn't be him and he couldn't be me.
Right.
And then the other was, as a DJ company, you want to think I provide sound and lights and the whole deal. Was making great connections with audiovisual companies, realizing, wait a minute, I could actually just sell this guy's service, bill it in, he shows up, puts the sound, puts the lights, the video. I just show up with a console, rock the party and go home.
Do what you do best.
Do what I do best. And I like doing the big production, but there's a part of me that says, it's really nice to go home while it's still dark.
Yeah, it's amazing because that's something that's different for us DJs. We want to go home while it's still dark, and everybody's like, I want to go home while it's still light.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in my particular case, the events I typically do are larger production events.
Right.
Where you've got a 6 to 7 hour load and set, a 4 to 6 hour show, and then you got a 4 to 6 hour teardown.
Right.
So basically, that pretty much party ends at 1. You're not getting out of there till 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning.
McDonald's is saying, sorry, we don't serve breakfast anymore. And you're like, but I'm hungry.
Exactly. And so developing connections with great AV companies where I can just send a schedule of what I want it to look like. They quote me back. I quote the customer what I want to be paid with that schedule in it.
Right.
Boom. Now, two people work. And the best part is, when it's 1 o'clock, 5 minutes after the party's over, Elvis has left the building. Not that I'm Elvis, but it's just a great metaphor for.
It's a wonderful metaphor, and it's exactly the way it should be. You came in, you rocked the party.
Yep.
It's time to go home and be the rock star.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's time to go home and take out the trash.
That's right. That's exactly. It's time to go home, take out the trash, make sure the cats are taken care of.
That's right.
You get to take off the persona of the entertainer and become just Joe.
Just Joe, or just Hugo.
Just Hugo.
Yeah. When you go to networking events or social events, whether it's networking or a conference or a trade show, how do you prepare for something like that? Or do you prepare?
Well, I absolutely prepare. If I'm going to a conference, I will have studied the agenda, the speakers, the seminars, and I'll have tried to map out the ones that I think are most relevant to my business.
Okay.
And then I have what I call the wow factor, the
Okay.
wild card. I pick something that has nothing to do directly with what I think I need. And I always do that because you never know where you're going to find that next pot of gold.
Right.
And so by picking something that seems obtuse, seems out of my element, has been
Why
a
are
great benefit.
you here?
Yeah.
And then you go, now I know why I was here.
Exactly. So that, for me, on a content selection works well. And for networking, I try to not hang with the same people.
Right.
Because if it's great to have the friends and you meet up with your friends and you hang out, but it's also even greater when you build more contacts with other people from other parts of the country.
Right.
I've gotten events on the other side of the country
Wow.
because of connections I made at conferences with other DJs and other event professionals, planners, videographers.
Right.
You know, I made a connection with John Goolsby,
Yeah.
Godfather Films.
Godfather Films,
This
yeah.
guy is an amazing filmmaker. I mean, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I would have never made that contact if I hadn't come to here, to Wedding MBA,
Right.
and developed a relationship of talking about videography I wanted for a show I was producing.
Right.
And that's huge.
And now you guys are good friends.
Yeah, great friends.
Isn't that awesome? So, going back to what you said about going into that wow factor, into a class or a seminar of something that has nothing to do with what you do, what's one that you would say that totally really did that wow factor for you? And wow, that was something I never thought of, completely took me from left field.
I was at a NACE National Conference, and two people that became my friends, Chef Jerry Edwards and
Okay.
Troy Conklin, he was with St. Michelle Winery at the time, they were doing food and wine pairing.
Okay?
Now, I'm a DJ.
Right.
What do I got to do with food and wine?
Eat.
The amazing part was learning how they made food and wine pairings, also matching event decor and event
Wow.
styling.
Well, there you go. Wow.
It was like, wow, you mean you suggest to a client to pick a certain meal based on their event design and their event tempo,
Right.
and then you pair it with a wine that matches well to that food. That was an interesting thing.
Wow.
When I went into here at Wedding MBA a few years ago, and John Goolsby was teaching a class about wedding videos.
Okay.
And what I took out of it was, okay, how can I best utilize my camera when I'm at events? How can I set up a video camera to do two things? One, capture the event for my own personal recollection.
Right.
But it was huge it's what hit me with the idea of I should videotape myself.
Yeah.
I should videotape my performance because nothing tells you the truth like watching yourself on video. You realize how well you did or where you didn't do so well. And so that was a huge takeaway. And that, I had nothing to do with videography, but
Right.
I thought John's a cool guy. I respect what he's doing. I'm
Learned a few things.
going to stick in and develop it because I think it helps you have better relationships with other event professionals. If you have attended a few classes that are important to wedding planners or to videographers or photographers, you've got a little bit better understanding of the world they live in and the pressures they deal with, which helps me be a better team player.
That's a good point. Hadn't thought of that. That's something that would actually, yeah, that's a good point. What advice would you give to somebody new getting into the business, as far as starting off and not being too overwhelmed, but coming to something like this, like a Wedding MBA or a NACE conference or a Cater Source, or something of that nature, depending on their field, of course.
Well, depending on their field, if they're a disc jockey, I'd say come in with your eyes wide open.
Yeah.
Come in looking to learn. Take and toss off the preconceived perceptions that you think you're the expert and you think you're a rock star and you think you know everything. As soon as you first break down that humility barrier, now you're going to be in the position to learn. Then, because if you're a disc jockey, you should hopefully have a little bit of an extrovert in your personality. Get out and shake hands with everybody you can meet. Meet everybody.
I gotta tell you, that's one of the best things that I learned coming to the conferences, the ADJ conference and things like that, it was twofold. One, I got confirmation of the things that I do right.
Sure.
But then I also got to learn things going, oh my God, that's a great idea and nobody is doing that. Open
Yep.
yourself up to new experiences and new ideas and elevate the market as a whole.
Yep.
You know, and if you do that, then everybody can make a living.
Well, and one of the challenges for people making a living is, I think sometimes people price point themselves out of success. And what I mean by that is they raise their prices in the hopes of earning a living without having the underpinning career
Education,
skills,
yeah.
the underpinning sales. I mean, frankly, most event professionals are great at what they do, but
Right.
they're really lousy at the selling process.
Right.
So my mantra is learn to sell. Learn the selling process at whatever price point you're at. Because when you learn to sell it well, and then you create raving fans out of the attendees, that everybody that's a guest at the party goes, wow, that was the most amazingly beautiful cake. The food was exquisite. The table decor was amazing. The floral centerpieces were beautiful, but not so ostentatious that you couldn't see across the table. Then what happens is when there's all these people that are so excited about your work, what happens? Referrals come in. People start calling you. Because
Right.
let's face it, we're event professionals. At
Yeah.
any given event, there's at least a couple dozen people that know somebody having a party or they're having a party. And sometimes we focus on making the client happy and ignore the guest. I am a little on the different side of
Right.
if you make the guests crazy, raving fans and happy and thrilled and excited and with the decor, with the beauty, with the entertainment, everything you do, they're going to tell the host.
Right.
And, you know, the host isn't going to be unhappy because if everybody's telling them what a great party,
That's
they're
what
going to
the
go,
host
well,
wanted.
of course, you know,
Yeah.
I know how to hire the right talent. and that doesn't downplay making the client satisfied.
Right.
But rather it's a perception of for your business, you want to make everyone satisfied, crazy fans, and then when you know how to sell, you're raising your rates, you're getting better fees, and then you are making a living. I mean, for an example,
Yeah.
what good is it to charge $10,000 for videography but only be able to sell that twice a year?
Right.
It's not a living.
Not a living. No.
You'd be better to sell it for $5,000 and do 45 events
Exactly.
because that
That
is
will make
less
a
per
living.
event, but it's a living or it's a start of a living.
Right.
And so that's really the challenge is to grow our fees in a healthy manner, which is consistent with solid business, which is
Yeah.
you raise, you know, price and demand are supply and demand relate. And so my avenue is create increasing demand and price naturally follows it up and you're busy.
Nice. So now you have another conference coming up. When's the next ADJA conference?
The next ADJ sponsored event is the Las Vegas DJ show.
Okay.
That'll be next August and 28th to September 2nd.
Nice.
We
Right
just
back
had
here.
our show 2
Right.
weeks ago, which you were there.
Yep, I was there. It was wonderful.
It was a good show. We had some great content. Next year it's going to be exciting. We're changing it up again. It's at Planet Hollywood. It's a great venue.
A lovely venue.
You know, one thing about the ADJA is we support education for event entertainers anywhere and everywhere.
Yep.
We exhibit at the DJ Expo. We're here at Wedding MBA. We're the only association representing DJs here.
Yep.
We're not here to sell memberships.
No.
We're here to influence, because this show, Wedding MBA, is largely event planners.
Right.
We're here to influence the event planners and venues and other
And
event professionals.
kind of bridge that gap.
Yeah, we're here to influence them on the value of great entertainment, how a great quality DJ makes the party fluid and smooth and memorable.
And that raises
You know,
the
and-
whole
yeah,
industry.
exactly. And so for us on the disc jockey side, you know, we support events like Map DJ, Snap DJ, Epman, West Coast DJs Live,
Right.
Midwest DJs Live, any place and every place that we can help DJs to build and grow their business.
Awesome.
We have local chapters all across the country just for that purpose, to help these event professionals.
And how do they get a hold of you guys if they want to become a member of either a local chapter or even just a national chapter if they don't have one yet in their area?
Well, if they don't have a chapter in their area, we'd love to help you start one. The way they get hold of us is adja.org. And then they
Nice.
can follow the links there. They can join up, and we can help them with a chapter.
Nice.
They can call us at 888-723-5776. That rings directly on my desk, because as the president of the ADJA, for now the buck stops here. Everybody talks to the president. They don't get some
Yeah.
hireling. They get a working DJ. And that's one of the other aspects. is I'm a working DJ. I don't just run the ADJA, I DJ.
So don't call you on a Saturday night. But
Well-
other than that, we're good.
Well, I have people that answer the phone on Saturday night for the Get a DJ Fast hotline.
Right.
But
Which is
yeah,
also important, actually. That's a whole nother aspect. If somebody runs into an emergency and they have hired somebody who is unfortunately unqualified and they maybe went based on price and they run into an emergency.
they can call the 888 number I just gave.
Right.
On the weekends, it becomes a Get a DJ Fast emergency hotline. That rings my phone anywhere I am in the world, and that connects me to our network, where I can then try to help them find a replacement DJ, kind of a Get a DJ Fast, get
Right.
a DJ at the last minute, so that their event isn't destroyed.
Right.
Because let's face it, a party, a wedding reception, a party by its very nature is an entertainment event. It's an
Yep.
entertainment experience, and if you have no entertainment or the entertainment's terrible, I mean, take a
Yeah.
wedding. If the DJ's horrible, once the
Yeah.
first dance is done and the cake is cut,
Everybody's gone.
everybody's gone.
Drax, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
A lot of information, and we will see you guys at the next interview. Thank you so much for showing up.
Awesome.